Hi, I'm Evan Romerl, and this is our Team 3 project. We did a flashcard app, and how this kind of came about was I was thinking for our elevator pitches, I was thinking about doing a study app, and just thinking about how I just don't like how doing just plain flashcards, and how I could further develop it. And so this is the idea I had come up with, and then when I presented it to our team, my team just ran with it. And so Brandon's going to talk to us about the development of this app.
So while developing this application, starting at the beginning, we started by assigning the class topics to each person. That way we could figure out what piece and what part each person would build. We then began a meeting where we designed our application and kind of went over, the basics of how everyone thought the application should look and what it should do. And then we also talked about some integration, how we could put all these pieces together, and we use that through tools like GitHub and other things. So now I'm going to hand the time over to Chris to talk about that object structure.
Thanks. What you see here on the screen now is the original object structure that we decided the first week that we got together and decided to start coding the core portion of our app. This is what we came up with. So the 4 boxes on the left are actually the same object. It's a master list object. Later on when we demo the app, you'll see how this is actually being used. But basically it's like a class. So the master list could be, say, your French class. And then when you click in that, the next master list would be, let's say, a vocab list. And then it comes down to flashcards. And this is the key to this object structure. We needed to have one single object, which turns out to be that flashcard object you see on the far right, that everyone could access. It has all the data in the simplest form possible that we could later on use for other parts of our app, like the games that we have. But I'll get into this more when we demo the app. Right now I'd like to actually pass you over to Jesus to talk about some of the challenges and the successes of our app.
All right, thank you. Some of the challenges, we had some successes and challenges, and some of the successes that we finished the application. We had a lot of good communication in our group during the time that we were developing the app and teaching each other. And we had a diverse skills and interest in our team. So there were some people that was actually getting interested in CSS, some others on getting onto JavaScript and so. And that helped us a lot. There was also another success. We didn't have any conflict. We were able to make decisions pretty well, to get along as a team. And I think we had a teachable team because we were able to teach each other while we were teaching the code topics. Some of us were good at something, and some of us were lacking some of the knowledge. So we were able to actually teach each other all the concepts and all the code topics very, very well. We had some challenges in which we can mention the team communication. Towards the end of the project, we had some challenges there, and we had miscommunications also for when we faced some of the challenges of some of our team members just dropping out of the class. We had GitHub challenges because some of us didn't have that many skills on that, but we were able to actually manage it very well. And location challenges due to different schedules and the availability of the team members. So I'll go ahead and proceed to talk about different roles that we had in the team. So Brandon Webb was actually in charge of the Ajax, so he actually helped us out to pull some data from the server to give us suggestions on the app. The CSS was assigned initially to Andrew, but Andrew dropped out the class, and that's one of the challenges that we had. We had to do a team effort there because we had to take over some of his tasks to be able to finish the CSS, and everybody worked on the CSS for their own apps. I was in charge of getting everything ready for the local storage, accessing the local storage, writing onto local storage, and working with some of the stuff that Chris actually helped us out with JSON objects. So Chris and I worked together to make our code work to implement the objects and how they were written into the local storage and managed from there. and Evan was the one in charge of getting all the functionality for the flashcards game. So, and I was also working on a flashcard memory game, and so that those were actually our team roles in the project. So, please, Brandon, could you tell us about the documentation and location for that?
So basically here, we put all of our documentation within Google Drive, and you can access it at the URL located in the bottom of this slide. At this time, I would like to hand the ball over to Chris to give a little demo of our application. Chris, the screen is now yours.
Awesome. Thank you. So the documentation link, as well as the link to our Git repo, as well as this live site, so you can demo this for yourself, will be in our Google Plus page. But let me just run you through this. This is the basic landing page. Right now, I already have 3 sets already loaded, and so these are that master object I was talking about. So here's that French class I mentioned. So I click in there. I actually already created a vocab list, and by clicking in there, you can see I have the days of the week all ready to go. And actually coming up here now, you'll notice as I've gone through the pages, our navigation has changed. I'm going to come down here and load Evan's app. So this is a flashcard app. So I can go through my flashcards and study them. By clicking on them, it'll flip over and show me what the word is in English. So I can go through and check those out. Also up here, I won't play a full game because it'll take too long for this demonstration, but we also have the memory match game. So you can start flipping cards over and trying to match them. You have a timer that will count how well you're doing, and then eventually when you do beat this, up here will display how many turns it actually took you to beat this. Now let me go back real quick and jump into vocab. You know, adding things to this is very easy. You just come up here and you can just type away. You can add what you need to, and you can select the category, and then you come back up here and you save it. The same process works on these other pages. And also Ajax, you know, I also wanted to just demonstrate that. So let's say I had a science class and I came up here. You see how I started getting suggestions, or maybe I had a math class. Again, I get suggestions of things that I can select and make a list for me automatically. So that's just a brief rundown of what our app looks like, but I'll turn it back over to Brandon.
Well, thank you for coming and viewing our application. We hope this provides you with everything you need.